Hey, Masters of Speed, it's a Terra Master here with Justice and Drake, and you'll notice I'm introducing it, which means it's not a podcast. We're actually here to talk about Erratas. You'd be like, what? Erratas? That was months ago, you clown. No. Erratas in the future. We've been doing predictions for cards, and Konami likes to do this other thing, it seems like, where right before a set release, there is also a set of erratas released. So why not predict that as well? So instead of doing a best case, worst case, since that would be weird, we're just going to do one case of errata predictions. It is average case, exactly. The case.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of like, this is what we actually are kind of expecting, right? It's not what we want to see necessarily. It's just, given current state of the game or confusion on certain things, what we expect them to do.
Right.
Yep.
All right. Well, Drake, take it away.
All right, so the first one we have is digging for gold. Got a couple erratas here to fix this one up. First of all, we gave this man a last name. It used to be a David skill. It is now David NPC. So
there you go.
You can get married now. But how we errata this skill, it now says banish 3 cards from your graveyard face down, where it used to just say banish 3 cards from your graveyard, and then draw a card. You can use the skill once per duel. So why does face down matter versus face up is basically you can't really do anything with those face down cards. Right now it's not a huge problem. Yes, Union Scramble can special summon what you banish with this, but in the future there might be cards you want banished, and this enables that. Or there might be cards that can special summon cards or manipulate cards in the banished area. And just future-proofing this card just by saying face down. That pretty much sums that up.
Yeah, I also wouldn't be surprised if, like, Konami doesn't like the fact that it was used for unions, like, even at all, assuming they're aware. They would be like, oh, gotta do something about that. Nope, you're not supposed to use that.
Yeah, you never know.
I think it was used for unions today. This is the day of the main event, by the way. So when I say today, that's what that means. Yeah, I think one player, I think, was on it today. So yeah, they might just be like, these skills are supposed to be just jokes and not playable. So they've already hit the 2 that were played most, which is Ritual Ceremony and Fusion Party. So I think, it's once they see this in a deck list, they'll be like, all right, that's it. So yeah, that's my thought there. And yeah, future proof, like Drake said. All right, magnetic attraction. So I think Justice, you want this one?
Yeah, I can sort of read it. All right, so yeah, it's actually, I'm just gonna say it's the current skill, except that it now says during your end phase, if you normal summon a Magnet Warrior monster this turn, you can add a Magnet Warrior monster with a different name for your deck to your hand. So all we did was we changed it to the end phase, not because magnets specifically needed a nerf, although this obviously is a sizable nerf to the deck, but just because the way that the skill interacts with Delta right now, there is no clear answer on. It doesn't actually make any damn sense. With Delta triggering, but then the skill triggering and interrupting Delta, but what's doing what, so it's really just a clarification in the way that Konami likes to clarify things, which is by nerfing them. And so that's what we did here.
Yep. Yeah, the bottom half of the skill is basically the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, this avoids the confusion of like what you said. The way it reads now, can you even activate Delta's effect and the skill's effect? And then on top of that, if you do Delta's effect and the skill's effect, can it be floodgated? And we kind of just have to like guess right now. This clears that up.
Yeah. I think it's good for every skill to be open game state rather than like this question of, is it a chain? Is it an imaginary chain that exists outside the actual chain? So it's, instead of that, just make it so that, skills are isolated, take place in an open game state where you can't chain to them. And that's it. You have the ability to respond once they've resolved, and that's it. Like that keeps it simple and easy for the future of the game.
As much fun as it is to talk about things like Spell Speed 4 and Chainlink 1.5 with skills that we've been doing lately, we probably shouldn't be doing all that. So yeah.
No. All right, it's my turn. Draw. I mean, a viral infection. We've got Seto Kaiba's skill here. This one is mostly for future proofing, but also for one specific card that could be in the next box. And so, same thing, discard a number of cards, declare a card type, your opponent sends that type for each discarded card. But here's the kicker, you cannot activate spells or their effects during the turn you use the skill. Now here's where I mentioned that card that could be in the next box, and that's Vampire Kingdom. So Vampire Kingdom is when your opponent sends a card from their deck to the graveyard because of your effect. You get to destroy one card on the field. So with this skill, to have access to that anytime in a zombie deck where filling up your graveyard is good, seems pretty broken. So that's kind of what this nerf would be like. Oh, remember, because notice we put spells or their effects, so you can't not only activate Vampire Kingdom, but you can't activate its effect even if it was already on the field. So I think getting this line specifically, or something similar to this, would almost guarantee Vampire Kingdom is in the box. Then there's a second bit here. There's a future proofing bit here, because this skill, I think we all agree, needs to be future proofed. Cards with the same name as those sent to the graveyard by this card's effect cannot activate their effects this turn. That's a very convoluted way to say, if I discard Destiny Hero Malicious, I can't activate the effect of Destiny Hero Malicious this turn. If I discard Infernity Necromancer, I can't activate Infernity Necromancer this turn, to give an example outside the card pool, right? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, which is kind of crazy because we all know that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not known for any effects that activate in the graveyard.
No.
But, you know, just in case they ever decide to go that direction. There you go.
Just in case, yeah. The game that's never gone there could go there at some point. So you know.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Graveyard is bad, right? Drake, do you have any thoughts on viral, or do we need to go to your next skill here?
You covered it. Like, you can't activate a Haunted Shrine the turn it was pitched for this skill.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Seems fair.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
All right. This is what everyone thinks my favorite skill is in the world, at least. I'm just going to attack. All right, so how do we change this one to make this one more clear, mainly, but also more fair? So we said during your main phase, you can target one of your opponent's set spell or traps, and during the battle phase this turn, they cannot activate that one. They can do anything they want with the other ones. Your Joey's not going to stop those. So it makes it more clear, as in, like, is Joey a weird spell speed 4 negate? Can I play 2 traps? Can I play a trap and then Joey negates it, and then can I play another trap? It's very confusing, and we don't have a sure answer for that yet, but with this errata, you know exactly how the card works. And then Justice, I think it says something at the bottom.
Oh yeah, I think so. Let me see. It says, "Yo, this Tyrannosaurus stat's got a terrible temper." Nyeh.
Yeah, flavor text was a great addition to skill cards, so they should do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be great. All right,
Can't wait
next
for the judge
skill.
rulings on how bad is the temper. What do I do when the Tyrannosaurus is in a bad mood? Can I negate it?
Well, that's where you get your 100 attack points from, right?
Oh, true.
Yeah. All right, yeah. No, there's nothing that much I have to say about Joey. You know, I'm not the Joey player here. The Joey player already explained it to you. Who's apparently a Joey player even when he's not on Joey, but is on Weevil instead.
Even when not using Joey, it is a Joey deck.
Yeah. There you go. All right, Justice, take it away.
Yeah, we have no more misses. Nice, my. So again, this is one of those things where it's just avoiding the questions of how does it work, when does it work, what can I do or not do. So once per turn during your end phase, if your monster inflicted battle damage to your opponent's life points, apparently you changed now to a direct attack. Destroy one spell or trap card on the field. We talked about this beforehand. Terra Master just likes nerfing things, so it's now only by direct attack apparently.
It's to make the prediction accurate, okay?
No, true. Yeah, as we said, clarifications comes with nerfs, so this makes a lot of sense. Yeah. But yeah, it just happens during your end phase, so it's not right when the damage. Does this make the skill worse? Yes. Yes, it does. Does it make it clear on how it works? Also, yes. So this makes sense for Konami.
Yeah. Not much more to say. It is very confusing. We've talked about this like a lot now, but I think in general it's very confusing because skill cards are cards that only exist one in Duel Links, which is automated, and then outside of Duel Links, this is the first time they've existed. So this is the first time a type of card in Yu-Gi-Oh has existed, and it's for a side format that we get one update per month from Konami on, if we're lucky. Sometimes it's once every 2 months. So, like, that's not something that we should have to deal with. It should be made as simplified as possible, and, you know, something like this does do that to both this skill and to I'm just gonna attack and the magnetic attraction. Just the fact that there are 3 of these skills right now just goes to show you how much we need these kind of clarifications. So the faster they come, the better.
Yeah, and like to be clear, as I said at the top of the video, this isn't always exactly what we want to happen. We're not saying that No More Mrs. Nice Mind needs to be nerfed. That's not the point. It's just to make it function in a way that there's no questions about how it works, because skill cards just function in a way that no card in Yu-Gi-Oh does. So it's just a matter of making it clear. So if there's a different way of doing it that doesn't nerf it as hard, like, we're certainly down for that, you know. It's just they need to be worded in a way that gets rid of these questions, that's all.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
All right, it's time for the final skill. Heart of the cards, guide me. Why is this puzzle blue? Okay, doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
It's part of the errata.
It's also part of the errata. All right, once per duel. If your life points is 2,000 or below, that's already a difference, right? It's not if you have lost 2,000 life points. It is if your life points is 2,000 or below specifically. So you can't. This was done way back, like a long time ago in Speed Duels, where there would be like, there was a stall deck played where opponent would try to gain life points and then lose 2,000, then gain life points and lose 2,000. So this is like Golden Apple's time when this was happening.
I was gonna say, that sounded very recent.
Oh well, yeah.
A long time ago in Speed Duels, where people stalled and gained life points.
Well, specifically for
Who
Destiny
remember?
Draw. Now, we use it for another skill now. Yeah, so during your draw phase, and again, the current skill says during your next draw phase, which is incredibly confusing, which is like, wait, do you have to do it the exact turn that you took the damage? Or can you do it whenever you want, as long as you've always taken the damage? Couldn't even get every judge in the Discord to agree on that one, so...
Yeah, we actually have no consensus on that.
No, that's a weird one. But so like I just stopped playing it because, you know, the deck that I played it in wasn't as good as other decks anyway. All right, so you can search any card at your hands, like the deck your normal draws, you know, same old Destiny draw nonsense from Yugi. Then place one card in your hand on the bottom of your deck. This is Konami's favorite nerf, I think, as far as cost from hand, because they've done it now to Union Combination and a Ritual Ceremony. So I think they love putting this. They're like, well, I mean, we can't give them a graveyard effect, so bottom of the deck, that's it. You'll never see that card again. And then some flavor text on this skill too, where it simply says, thank you for playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Speed Duels. If you know, you know.
Yeah,
All
my
right.
thoughts on this are that whether or not you actually put either of these nerfs that we put onto it, that's kind of irrelevant. We just kind of predict that they might put one or both of those nerfs on it. But what's important here is that it is clarified of when you get to activate this effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That really is the most important part, and that would actually make me happy to have it like this.
Yeah. Also, what's important is that it thanks you for playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Speed Duels.
That is true. I do feel better, especially because it ends with, you know, the nerf. You have to put one card from your hand on your bottom of your deck. That feels bad, but then you're like, oh, they want to thank me for playing. Oh, I feel better now.
Yeah.
Now the nerf doesn't feel so bad.
I will quickly add that the current version of Destiny Draw is very close to, or is exactly, I want to say, maybe, the original version in Duel Links. And that version, it got to a point where that was abused and like the most used skill. And before we get to that point, I think the Speed Duel team may want to take care of this right away because it was Errata and Duel Links at that point. So it might just be a preemptive strike here, like they've done to other skills.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yep.
No, that's
Yeah.
the interesting thing about this skill in particular is that once there's powerful enough combos that don't have their own skill already, this card is kind of nuts.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe just like putting it down a little bit before that happens could be good.
Yeah, especially as we get more cards that you pay life points for cost. So we already have a hero lives, right? Which is what I was trying this skill with, right? Because you activate a hero lives, the skill is live suddenly. Like that's all it takes. You play 2 cosmic cyclones, which was usually the way in Duel Links if you didn't just let your opponent hit you. And I think another thing is it takes away interaction. If this skill is like meta, like top tier, then people want to try to play around it. Like Drake said, powerful combo decks of the future. Like, I'm not going to want to attack you down to 2000 because I'm scared you're going to, on the crackback, just kill me if you get your full combo, right? So that creates like a disincentive for interaction and for attacking, like actually doing damage to your opponent when you have a chance to, and not because of some kind of skillful thing, but because of a skill card. It's a funny way to say it, but not for a good reason. It's for the reason of, oh, well, this thing exists that lets my opponent basically cheat, so I better not trigger that cheat condition. So, yeah, we're not going to have that.
Yeah.
All right. Any final thoughts on skill erratas in general? What we might see in a few weeks? I would predict it's in a few weeks here.
I would say I think these are pretty realistic. Obviously, I think we're all the same mind that we'd love to see some erratas of like buffing bad skills, but so far they've shown no intention of doing that. Although they could surprise us, you know, maybe they will this time around. Would be nice.
If they do that, if they ever start buffing skills, we're gonna have a pretty exciting videos to come out with.
Yes.
Yes, you'll see us a lot happier in those, I promise.
And you will see so many cope deck lists. It will be wonderful.
Yes, it will be. I guess you could say it'll be time. All right. So this week's actually a lot of videos, so enjoy that. But we will see you very soon again. So until then, Terra Master Justice Drake, we're out.